Hey everybody, it's me Stacey, licensed designer for Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture Creations. Hello and welcome to today's Take Two Tuesday event. Big news, my collection for Sizzix, my July collection for Sizzix has launched and is now available globally. Yes, globally. So if you are looking for some of my nod to Christmas collection, I have included some independent retailers, some online retailers, and even a retailer, online retailer over in the UK. Just look under the description of this video and you'll see several places to find my collection that literally just released yesterday from Sizzix. I'll be posting those retailers in the online chat. So if you are joining me during the premiere of today's Take Two Tuesday, which is 5 p.m. sunny California time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday, we live chat. Hello, are we live chatting? Because if you see a live chat going on right over there, say hello, hello, and we will say hello, hello back. Take Two Tuesdays are a technique-based class where I show off the latest and greatest from Stacey Park and Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture Creations in a make that is achievable by everybody. I love the set that I'm using today. It is a stamp and stencil set that has so many uses. There's no way I can show you all of it in just one Take Two Tuesday. I'm going to be doing several with this set over the course of the next month or so because every time I bring it back out, I've got something new to show you. Today it's all about the stamps in the Stamp and Stencil Set and one of my fanciful framelits. So I'm going to tilt on down. I'm going to get started for today. I'm going to remind you that this product is available right now. In the description of this YouTube, you will find independent retailers, online retailers, even an online retailer over in the UK where you can go and order these products and, well, hopefully they make your heart as happy as they make mine. Are we ready to get started for today? Because wow. One stamp and stencil set, so many uses. But before I get there, we're going to tilt on down. I'm going to start with a fanciful framelit die set, and then we'll move into the stamp and stencils. Are you ready? Hello. I need to be able to see you. Oh, these are dirty. So you will know that my YouTubes, my classes are not scripted, nor are they edited. Wait. Oh, there y'all are. It's good to see you. All right, I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. And I hope you enjoy today's Take Two Tuesday event. Love the set I'm working with. All right, down we go. Let's get started, everybody. It's good to see you. Okay, and let me zoom on in. Zoom. I am my own camera person. We're not very tech savvy here. We do the best we can, which is me. And then let me show you. Ooh, oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is what we're gonna be playing with today, right? Yay. But before we get here, we need to start at the beginning. And the beginning really starts with the dies for July. These are my fanciful framelits, and this is, I think, the 7th out of the series, and my fanciful framelits are definitely different than what you've seen in other types of nesting dies. Yes, they'll do solids. Yes, they'll do frames, absolutely. But what's different about them is that, well, first off, I filled up the template. So I wanted to give you these shapes because the triangles work with so many different elements of my July Sizzix launch. I mean, my layering stencil they work with, the stamp set I'm working with today they work with. There's so many things that these coordinate with. But I had extra room on my template, so I gave you a little bit of extra just because I needed to fill in the space. I wanted to fill in the space. Now, what makes them different is that there's a die, and then an embossing feature, and then a die, and then an embossing feature. And typically when you have a die that has a stitched element to it or an embossing element to it, it is built into the die so that anytime you use the die, you also have to use that embossed or stitched element. I did it differently, where you can use the die by itself, you can use the embossing element by itself, you can pair the two together, or you can make frames with or without the embossing element. Lots of opportunity here, and I wanted to show you the embossing element. In fact, we'll take it from over here. I've got them on my gotcha tool. So this is a gotcha tool, and it is by Sizzix, and I did design it. There's my SP logo, and a gotcha tool sits in your making space. Look at that, so nice. And when you have dies that you're using and you want to keep track of them, well, bam, they just sit right there on your maker's space. And if you have little dies, maybe you've dropped something on the floor or in the trash can, it just picks everything up. We had a friend who was at a stitching event, I believe last week, an honorary SMS girl, and my understanding is she was showing everybody the gotcha tool because, well, it picks up pins, it picks up anything, even it finds its way to people's garages, off your making table and into your garage, because your spouse finds that they love them because it picks up all of their little odds and ends too. And again, bam, just like that, easy peasy. So I'm going to take one of my embossing elements, and I'm going to start with that because I do want to show you how these work before I start playing with the stamp set. So this has got a dotty element. Oh, let's see if I can get it to zoom. Hello, zoom in. This has got a dotty element all the way around it. And it doesn't cut. It has no cut edge on either side. This is just going to emboss that element in. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So I've got my Sizzix Big Shot machine right here. And I'm playing with the manual version, the 6-inch. It's the one I go to all the time. And to do an embossing, I am going to be using the base platform, which comes with your machine. Your machine also comes with a solo shim, and it comes with 2 clear plates. These are no longer clear, but when you get them, they'll be crystal clear. Now I want to do this embossed element, so I'm going to grab some of my Revealz paper. Revealz paper is from Sizzix. They have it in the A6 size, which is what this is, and A4 size, so almost like an 8.5 by 11. It has 10 different colors. You get 4 of each color, and what makes this paper so amazing is what you can do with it. So I'm gonna pull out these 2 colors because I'm gonna do a tree. And this is Sandable paper. So it's not white core paper. When you tear it, you don't see white. And it's not solid core paper. So when you tear it, it's not the same color all the way through. This is color core paper. So when you tear it, you see a lighter shade of the main color. It's beautiful. So imagine, tearing has come back into fashion with this paper, and sanding is stunning. So to use my die, I need 2 things from Sizzix. I need what's called I call it a squishy and a knock knock. And you can understand why it's a squishy and why it's a knock knock. I believe they call this their transfer set or their impression set, and they're sold as a set and very inexpensive because once you own them forever and you don't need to replace them. But these are what makes that embossing work. So I take my base platform. I no longer need my solo shim because I'm not die cutting. My base platform, I set my knock knock down first. My squishy down next. My paper with the side that I want to see on my finished project face down. And then my die. Put on one of my clear plates. And what's going to happen is as this die hits the roller that is in your machine, as it hits the roller, the silicone pad's going to get longer and longer and longer because it's being compressed down. Longer, look at that, longer. And then I can roll it on back. And then I can see what I've got. You can see that I've embossed the paper. Oh, there we go. I'm getting an image of it. There we go. You can see that I've embossed the paper. But what makes it special is the sanding blocks by Sizzix. This is what makes it special between the paper and the sanding blocks. Sizzix sells them in a 2-pack, really priced affordably. Having 2 of them is a help. It really is. It's nice to have the 2 each time you get them, and they are useful, and they're handheld. They feel good in your hand. But I guess the most important thing about them is that Sizzix use the grit for the sandpaper that works best for paper in general. You could absolutely go out into perhaps your shed or your garage and see if you've got some sandpaper out there to do this. But if the grit is not hard enough, you could be sanding forever and the paper never moves. Or if the grit is too coarse, you tear through your paper. So Sizzix, they went in, they investigated, and they picked just the right grit to sand your paper quick and easy without destroying your paper. And boom, now I've added all of those dots. Right? How cute is that? Easy peasy. Let's do it in the green really fast. We'll do another one. Bring my machine back over just so you see the sandwich one more time, because we're not die cutting, we're embossing. So we have our base platform. We have our knock knock, which is an impression pad. We have our squishy, which is a silicone pad. We have our paper with the side that you want to see on your finished project down. And again, this is Revealz paper. Could you do this with a white core paper? Absolutely. And then maybe I'll even do and then my die, and send it on through. And that squishy is going to come out. See, it's coming out the back end, and then roll forward. And you have created an embossing inside specialty paper. Now Revealz is pretty amazing. Oh, look at that. That embossing, look at that. And I didn't use an embossing folder. Now I can come over with my sanding tool and just hit the tops. And that detail is going to come up. Now it's up to me if I want to die cut them out. I certainly can, because I do have the coordinating die. Hello, right there. That's why keeping the die and the embossing element separate is so handy, because you may want to just use the embossing element. You may want to use the embossing element and the die. Really is up to you. So let's die cut this so you can see. Put all my dies right back on my gotcha tool. You can hear it. That's the click click that you hear. Bring my machine back on over. And this time I am going to die cut, so I do need my solo shim. I'm gonna put it right on in. I'm gonna put my cut plate down. Hello, cut plate down. I'm gonna retrieve my do not cut plate out of the trash. I've got my paper, my die. And up to you whether you want to tape it in place or you want to use a magnetic platform, or you're a girl like me who wants to fly by the seat of her pants, and I just leave it there and I'm just going to go for it. Put my top plate on and send it on through. Ready? Away we go. Now, because this isn't like a 3D embossing, you're not worried about flattening the embossing down of those little dots. Those little dots are there for the color. That's what we're going for. And bam. And I could put that in there and start building a little tree. How cute would that be? Gosh, I could almost take and just create and maybe there, and maybe there. Create a little trunk with just some straight cuts. Because I gave you triangles. I didn't give triangles with a trunk because I want you to be able to use the triangles for many things. And we're starting to create a little tree. Look at how cute that is with the embossing. So now I've embossed and I've die cut. And that is how my fanciful framelits work. Regardless what shape it is, the circle, the top note, the oval, the hexagon, the diamond, each of them has its own unique embossing pattern to it. And it allows you to die cut, it allows you to emboss, it allows you to emboss and die cut. Options aplenty. So I wanted to show you those first because we may be using them a little bit later on. I'm going to tape this down because we may finish this. This is so stinking cute. Okay, so tape. A little bit of double-sided tape. And I may finish this as a card a little bit later on because it's just darling. And center it. Sentiment, maybe some bling, and I'm good. And I love that I left a little trunk there. Okay, moving on. So I wanted to show you my fanciful framelits before I moved into the stamp and stencil that I'm using for today. Hello, beautiful. It really is so useful. I am telling you, I packed as much as I possibly could into this set. You have 4 different tree sizes, you have sentiments, you have baubles, you have stars, and then you have an entire stencil to decorate everything with. So let's grab a piece of white paper so you can see the stamp set. Stamp set. Big tree, hello. Nice large tree, smaller, smaller. You can use them all. And I want you to see the detail on those trees because when you see how my microfine glitter clings to that detail, it is sheer magic. And then little baubles to decorate the tree, stars for the top of the tree if you want to do stars around the tree, plus sentiments. So this is an A5 stamp, big A5 stamp. And this is the size template that I like to use because I can fit so much on it and give you everything you need in one stamp set, from the sentiments to the design, everything. But with this stamp set, we added a little something extra. I wanted a way to decorate my trees. So I included a stencil. Now you're going, oh, Stacey, that stencil is big. How am I ever going to use that? You've given me all of these different size trees, but how do I use that with the stencil? Well, the trees, any size of the trees, works perfectly with the stencils. No matter what size you go with, you're going to be able to add detail. We can take white paste, glitter paste, and add a detail to this size tree. I can come in and I can add my little elements of the baubles to this size tree. I have options. There are options with this, even for my smallest tree. It's about giving you the opportunity to take something and make it more than what it looks like. And while I'm not going to be playing with the stencil today, that's why I said I'm going to have to do at least 2, maybe 3 Take Two Tuesdays on this set alone, because there is so much to be done with them. So much. So I'm not going to play with the stencil too much today. I'm going to put it on back and we're going to start playing with those trees. All right, so I want to grab some white paper. And today I'm going to be working with my Microfine glitter. This is from Couture Creations. I'm a licensed designer for Couture Creations, so it's the Stacey Park Microfine glitter. And while most glitters start the same, they certainly don't end the same. This is a beautiful, this is my yellow curry. Love it. Yellow curry, and it's a microfine glitter. So while you may find a glitter this color perhaps in your child's or your grandchild's classroom, what makes it different is how finely it is ground. How finely it is ground. Amazing, right? Usually glitter in, let's say, a school is a more chunky glitter, fatter, the particles are bigger. So glitter comes in regular, it comes in fine. Regular would be what you would find in a school or your craft store, a hobby store maybe. Then fine glitter, then ultra fine glitter, and then microfine glitter. Microfine glitter is almost that of a dust. And because it's that kind of a glitter, it's ground so fine, when we go to use it and we ask it to cling to very detailed images, even sentiments, because it is so fine, it holds the detail of the image. If I was using a regular glitter that you would find in elementary school, the flakes are so big you would lose all the detail. If I was using a typical glitter for crafting, again, the flakes, the granules are bigger than you need them to be. An ultrafine glitter is more fine, but a microfine glitter is what you're looking for to hold detail. So I'm going to start with this. And I think I might start with maybe my biggest. Let's see what color. Let's take a piece of, I'm going to use some paper from the Sizzix Festive Cardstock pack. Yummy, yummy pack of paper. Oh my gosh, everything in it you need for your holiday crafting. It's beautiful paper. In fact, this is the one I want. Oh, it's my, no, it can't be my last one. Really? No, it's not. There's 10 colors in the pack and you get 6 of each color. This has a matching opulent set, an opulent pack of paper that is equally as dreamy. But let's start here. So I'm going to bring over my stencil and stamp tool from Sizzix. And for now, I'm going to be using it as a stamp positioner and not a stenciling tool. Comes with a little alignment tool. This tool is what you use to do stenciling perfect every single time. I'm not going to use that right now. And it comes with a sheet of sticky grid. Now you can see my sticky grid is as dirty and as used as can be. And I can already hear everybody at Sizzix saying, Stacey, please change your sticky grid. No, it still works. So I've got my paper. And that sticky grid holds the paper in place. Now to take the lid off, it just pops right out. You don't pull, you don't do anything, you just lift. No clicking it back into place, you just lift. And if I was using it as a stenciling tool, I would not need the lid. But as a stamp positioner, I want that lid on. And let me show you, see my paper doesn't move at all. Hello, fabulous. So I've been using the same sticky grid now for, I think 4 months. Your lid has two sides. It has two sides. One that it has a grid and one that is a smooth finish. That smooth finish is what you want going down against your stamp. So now all I have to do is pull out the stamp that I want to use. And I think I'm going to use the biggest one because why not? And I'm going to lay it down here and put it down and pick it up. Down and up. Yeah, I think that's a good place. Down and up. Now, I'm going to be using a very special glue pad today. This is the Essentials glue pad. And this glue pad is what you need to use when you are using a microfine glitter. It is not a typical glue where you just put glue down and you shake your glitter on and you let it dry. This is called a two-way glue, which means that it needs to go tacky. It will always have this tacky consistency to it until you put something on it, whether that be glitter or flakes or foils, whatever you're putting on it. But it needs to go tacky. It's as it gets tacky, that's how it starts to really be able to hold everything down. When you get it, it comes like this, and the glue pad is completely empty. There's nothing on it. When you open it up and you touch it and you're like, where? There's nothing on it. That's right, because this is the glue. It's not a re-inker. Please don't open this bottle up and put it all over your glue pad and then come back in a month and go, why isn't it working? You only use as much as you need for the job you're doing. So you're going to ink your glue pad up when you are about to use it. And I just did a little swirl. Now over time, your glue pad will start to get more glue on it and you'll need to use less and less. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a smudge. The glue is water soluble, so a baby wipe is going to clean up your hands, it's going to clean up your stamp, it's going to clean up the station, wherever you're working, your table. It's safe for kids because of it. And just like I would be inking up a stamp, I'm gluing up a stamp for all intents and purposes. Comes with this cute little lid that goes on first. It keeps it airtight, and then your top. And again, it's sticky. So, a baby wipe. That's going to be your friend. Put my platform right back in, my lid right back in, put it down and give a press. Pull it up and I can see that I have got an impression. Now, if there's any place where I don't think I've got a good enough impression, because it's a platform, I can just put it right back down. It lines right back up again and I'm good to go. But I think I've got a pretty good impression there. Look at that. Right? Now I think I'm gonna do the same, only on white paper. Ooh, and this is white glimmery paper. This is pretty shimmery paper. So I'm gonna put my paper down and I'm just gonna see if I'm happy where it is. And I think I am. So I'm gonna add a little bit more glue. Now there's still glue on there. I don't know that I need to add more to my pad right now. I'm gonna see what happens. close it up. Drop it, and let's give a press. Now this is going to be a little bit harder to see because the glue is transparent and I'm on white paper. Now your natural tendency will be to pull your paper up to look. I'm going to ask you to not do that. I'm going to say take the lid off and pull your entire platform up. That way you haven't taken your paper off. So if you've missed a spot, no big deal. You can just put your lid right back down and do it again. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I see that I've got a pretty good impression. But if I hadn't, because I didn't take my paper off, bam, and I can come back and I could have added more glue to it and press again and lift up, and I could look and see, am I happy with that? And if I am, that's when I can take it off. That's when I'll move it out of my way. Now, oh yeah, it's got to, I don't know if I can get an image of it for you, but it's there. Now this glue has to go tacky. This is the one time you want to be known as tacky. It is good to be tacky. And while that glue is going tacky, I'm just going to take a little baby wipe and wipe off my stamp. So you can walk away from these for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and come back and it's still going to work beautifully for you. In fact, you want a production line. Maybe you do 10 of these and by the time you finish stamping your 10th card front or layout embellishment or mixed media or altered art or whatever you're doing with this, you do 10 of them, you come back and your first one will be ready to go. It needs to go tacky. So even if you have to give it a waft, that's okay. Give it a little bit of a waft, but please don't take a heat tool to it. A heat tool is not going to help you. That's actually going to dry the glue more than what we want it to do. Now, I think I've let it go tacky enough. I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side and bring over my makeshift glitter funnel. Hello, makeshift glitter funnel, which is just a piece of paper folded in half. And I'm gonna take my, I think my silver. We like silver? Do we want the silver? I think the silver would be pretty on here. Let's take my silver. And let's put some glitter on. Now this is very, very fine glitter. Can you see it's almost like a powder. And less is more because you can always add. And since I'm not commingling colors, I could put whatever's left over back into my pot. If I was mixing 2 or 3 colors, I'd have to have a mishmash pot, but I'm not. Now, your finger, lightly, you just start to move that glitter over all of where that glue is. And anywhere there's glue, this glitter is going to cling to it. So it's starting to cling to my tree. All those fine branches and all that detail, it's wanting to hold on to it because it's glue. Now I can tell you I don't quite have enough glitter on here. I need just a touch more. Just a touch. So that I can get the base of my tree. And I want to make sure I don't feel any tackiness with my finger. And then I can take an inexpensive makeup brush and brush off all the excess glitter. Oh, tell me that's not magic, right? Look at the detail, all the branches, are still clearly defined, clearly defined. And then once it is down, it's down and it doesn't move. Now, there's not much glitter here to put back. I'm not even gonna bother. But I have got this one done. Yay, right? Look at that, that's spectacular. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And I might do the star. Maybe I do the star while I'm here, just quickly. So I'm gonna grab the star off of my, here it is. I'm gonna grab my star. And I'm gonna bring over my, I just wanna do the star super fast. So let's just put the star where it belongs. Pick it up. Put a little bit of glue on it. Oh, the lid, that's helpful. Take the clear lid off first. And, oh, I moved my paper, darn it. I didn't press my paper down hard enough. Okay, so I'm just gonna take that star and we'll start again. It's got glue on it. Press my paper down so it doesn't move. And then push. A little bit of a push. And there's my star. There's my star. Yay, done. Okay, that was done and easy. Now I'm gonna let that go tacky before I put any kind of glitter on it. But remember, I have got my other right here where I have started. And I think I'm gonna do some red glitter. Hello, red glitter. Let's be bold. And a little bit of glitter all around. And you can already see it clinging to the branches. You can already see it wanting to cling to the branches, right? So then, oh, I definitely need some more. I know I'm gonna need more than that. And anywhere there's glue, my red glitter is going to want to hold to it. Maybe a little bit more towards the bottom. I can always put it back because I'm not doing a mishmash. And then once it's down, it's down. Ooh, it almost looks like foil. Okay, so I can put all of this back in. And you can see it's a little clumpy, not a problem. You're just gonna put it right back in. It's kind of staticky to each other. So when I close it up, I give a good little shake. And all those little clumps go away and it's no longer staticky to each other. So I've done I've done one tree, but what if I wanted to do more than one tree? What if I wanted to come back and add, do I like this size? Or do I like, I could do that one there. Maybe there and there. Let's take them off the sides of the edges and see what happens. So I'm going to bring my platform back, my stencil and stamp tool, leave my lid on, make sure the grid is on the top side, put my paper back on, find where I want to put my stamp, and I'm going to have it go off the edge. And close it up. It wants to take my paper because it's gluey. Down. Paper down. So my stamp is a little gluey, so it wants to pull with my paper, but that's okay. I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Kind of smudge it in. Now I got glitter on my glue pad. It's okay. I've had I've had flakes all over my glue pad. The last glue pad I had was a mess, but it still worked. It finally I think I had it for 5 years before I just recently let it go. It doesn't matter what the glue pad looks like as long as you can still glue with it. Now I'm going to go this stamp straight over some of my red glitter. Let's see, hopefully. I think I've got it. I'm going to guess that I do. I'm going to hope. And I'm going to ink it back up one more time. Now you don't have to take your lid off every time you're using your stencil and stamp tool. I just don't have the space here because my machine is right next to me. You could just leave it on, open it, add your ink or your glue, close it up and stamp. But because I'm limited in space, being able to take it on and off that lid on and off so easily is a benefit. Oh, I meant to move it. Oh well, I guess we'll stamp this one more time. All right, now I'm sure it's there. So let's pull it off and then let's line it up on this side. I think I'll go there. Or maybe I'll just do the little one. Maybe there. Close it, pull it, and then let's ink it. In the meantime, this is starting to get tacky. So I think I have enough glue. We'll see when I'm done. The good thing is it's only paper that I'm working on. Only paper. Close it up. And give a press. And pull up. I think it's good. I think I've got it. It pulled a little bit of the red glitter, which is fine. My stamp pulled a little bit of the red glitter with it. You can see that a little bit of the red glitter has now been lifted. Oh, keep my fingers out of it. All I have to do is take my baby wipe and clean up my stamp. Light dishwashing detergent will do it. Soap and water will do it. That one's good. And let's get a new baby wipe. And this one's good. Okay, all clean. Perfect. So now I've got 2 stamped images on here. Oh, and I can see them. And this one's been going tacky for a little bit. This one I just did. Let's come back and let's do the star on this one. And I'm gonna throw caution to the wind and I'm going to do a red star. Now the glitters don't mix. Because my silver is already dry, the red just sits right on top of it. It comes in, it just sat right on top of it and it didn't blend in. Because this is dry. So the red has nothing to cling to. So if I got red on my silver, it literally just brushes right away. Okay, so I've got that one done. And I think I can probably do this one. And how about we go with gold? So my gold is called, it's actually a yellow curry. It's not really gold at all. It matches my dye-based ink called Yellow Curry. And there we go. I got my finger in it, but that's okay. What I want you to see is that the glitter stamped right on top of the red, but it didn't take over. The gold or the yellow curry is still yellow curry, and you still have all the definition of the branches. They layer right on top of each other. Look at that. Right? Holy smokes, artichokes. Let's just do the other one in the same. Should we do it in green? I'm such an indecisive person when it comes to this. I love it all. I want to do it all. So I have 12 colors of Microfine glitter out right now. It is a very special glitter. It is a magical glitter. And then I have new colors coming later this month. And those colors will coordinate the 6 new inks I just launched. My Stacey Park Premium Dye-Based Inks by Jacquard. Dust off. And, oh, maybe just a little bit more on my side, just to fill in. a little bit more on my bottom, and then dust off. Oh, look. Okay. So now I have got one that I did in all silver, and I've got one in multiple colors. What do I want to do? Oh, I should have die cut this one. Well, we're gonna lose the, we'll lose that, but you know what? We're gonna die cut it anyway. I'm gonna lose my star. What if I die cut this one out? All right, let's bring my machine over, just so we can say we did it. I've got my base platform. I've got my solo shim. Comes with your machine and is needed to cut wafer style dies, and that's what this is. Look at how wafer thin it is. I have got my cut plate. I've got my paper. Feel kind of bad about my little star, but that's okay, I'll get over it. I'm gonna line it up. Now you may want to use a magnetic platform from Sizzix. You may want to use some maker's tape to hold it in place. I'm a girl who just flies by the seat of her pants. So I'm just gonna send it on through and we're gonna see what we get. It's only paper. And away we go. Bam. All die cut out. And I still have this piece, which I can then back with something and make this. I've even got my little trunk down there. How cute is that? I'm gonna save this piece. How cute is that? So if I take this and maybe we put it on a black. Is that what I wanted, on the black? And then maybe we take a, what sentiments do I have? I've got red. Do I have anything big? Bigger? What's in here? Oh, I could do Happy Holidays. Maybe we like it on the red. Pop a color. Okay, I think I'm going to trim this down. So I'm going to take some Stacey tape and I'm going to put it on here. So double-sided adhesive. You do a better job of taping down than I am. I'm just wanting to get it down. Pull off the liner. I can fold it back into itself because it's double stick tape. down. Happy holidays. Across the front. At least I think that's where it's going to go, is across the front. Again, double stick tape. Now, not all double stick tapes are made equally. So if you are using adhesive, use quality adhesive. I'm going to trim down my mat just a little bit so it's not quite as big. But where you absolutely don't skimp is your adhesive. Now I'm going to freehand. You would probably use a trimmer. I am not so apt with a trimmer, so I just freehand it. Okay, I'm going to take the sides down just a little bit. Again, you would probably use a trimmer. I'm just freehanding. My lines, my cuts aren't going to be beautifully straight, but they'll be close enough. And for me, handmade is made with the heart. So we're not going for perfection here. Imperfect is the new perfect. People see the love that you put behind what you've made for them. So if I have that, and I have happy holidays, I think I can come down just a little bit further too. Maybe just a little bit more. Think I can get that star in there? It's close. Well, shh. We're going to be quick about it. I'm using just my, oh. Gosh, and there might have even been enough glue on there. Let's add just a little bit more glue. I'm just using my cutting plate to get my star in there. I think that's close enough. Might have got a little double cut, a little double stamp, but I'm going to be okay with that. And let's give that just a second to get tacky while I put all my sentiments away. And while I'm thinking about it, I need to add a sentiment to this one. So what if I came back and I did use my stencil? I stenciled my word joy. So let's bring my platform, my stencil and stamp tool back over. And this is where I am going to need to use my alignment tool. And my alignment tool fits right into these little holes at the top where you can move your stencil anywhere you want. And if you're using stencils that are not by Sizzix and do not already have the holes in them, not a problem. Sizzix sells converter strips that attach to anybody's stencils that add 2 little holes at the top, so you're not trying to punch holes in your stencils. Let me tell you, these little nibs on this alignment tool are very specific in size. You can't just take a a quarter inch hole punch and think that it's going to work, because it won't. They'll be too big. The little nibs are very specific in how they're manufactured. They get narrow and then fatter. They're a certain size. So the converters are sold by Sizzix. You can use anybody's stencils then with this tool. Easy peasy. So what if I put my joy? See, I can lay it right down. And the beautiful thing about this is that I can see what I'm doing. So I can stencil and then pull up, literally lift this up to see if I'm happy with what I've done. So let's take a little bit of my ink. This is the Stacey Park Premium ink from Jacquard. And let's go in there and let's add, oh, I probably should mask off. I'm gonna mask a little bit right there, just so I don't accidentally get that in on my finished card. So I've got a little bit of that Christmas tree stencil where I would be able to add some snow, and I want to mask that off so I don't accidentally get that into my card. So let's just stencil right in here. So you can use the words on this stencil anytime for anything. You don't have to use it just when you're using this set. No, we have stenciled oodles of different sentiments. The girls, thankfully, did, so that I had them ready to go. All right, now I'm able to literally lift it up. Am I happy with that? If I'm not, I'm able to put it right back down again. It lines right back up again, and I can continue. That's the beautiful thing about this stencil positioner. It's an alignment tool, and it does its job beautifully. So now I've added a sentiment. Come back over. And my star. Just a little bit. Done. And now I can add maybe some snow on the bottom. I don't know if I want snow on the bottom of that one. I kind of like it on the bottom of this one, though. Nope, that's not working for me. gonna take more time figuring out what I want my snow to look like, if I even want snow. I think that one looks okay. All right, so let's put those down. I've got a jillion other snows over here for next time. Decisions, decisions. You would do a better job of taping this down than me. I'm just doing it so we get there. Zoop. And zoop. And I'll cut the bottom off so I don't have the black. There we go, perfect. And let's put this one down. And then it's just about matting them. So this is just, I didn't even touch the stencil, not really. And I really didn't touch the dies, not really. That's a whole nother class. And then I start matting. I can cut my top down a little bit if I want. And now it literally is about starting to mat all of these and just making a beautiful finished project. And this one I would probably matte on red too, only I would probably use the pretty shimmer on the red, and then maybe I could back it with the white glitter. And my sentiment. Hello, sentiment, where did you go? Right across. Easy to do. Easy. And that glitter just adds the right touch. And it doesn't make a mess. And it gives you that opportunity to add some sparkle and some shine and some shimmery into your Christmas holiday, your winter holiday. I'm using a shimmer paper from the Opulent Festive Cardstock pack to tie that red on in. And I'm just freehanding, and I'll straighten it out in a minute. And then right onto my glitter. Oh, this is so cute. And I still have this one to do. But you get the idea, and I've got some fabulous samples to share with you. So I'm going to finish this one and then show off some samples and remind you that the Stacey Park July Nod to Christmas is available globally now. Wahoo Couture! So we used the dies today, my Fanciful Framelits. We used my Stamp and Stencil Set. You always know it's a Stacey Park item because you see that teal down the back side. This is Merry and Light is the name of this set. It is the stamps and the stencils. It's both. You get it all. And I'll be back to use the stencil with the stamps in another Take Two Tuesday. We used Revealz paper. Oh, swoon on the Revealz paper. And that Revealz paper made this possible. I showed you the sanding blocks that made this possible, and the gotcha tool that absolutely gets ya. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Pick it right up. Lets you put everything on your making space. And then, of course, my Microfine glitter by Couture Creations. 12 colors out now, more following a little bit later on this month. So let me show you some samples using all of this great product. Okay, so I've got here, where again we've stamped on top, kept the detail. Here we have used ink, and then we use the triangles behind it for detail. Here I did them all in black. Look at, so I popped them up, I die cut them out. Here I used the same size all the way across in 5 different colors of my glitter. Here I ran the stencil right on top of that glitter. Here we have stamped and die cut. Here we've done a horizontal version. Here we've used embossing powders and kind of slightly untraditional Christmas colors. Here we've used my 4-layer stencil, which works with all of my Fanciful Framelits, and then the stamps behind it. And then again with my glitter. So this is today's Take Two Tuesday. I do this every Tuesday, and for the next month or so, I'll still be featuring, at least the next month or so, I'll still be featuring my Christmas collection. There's so much more to show you. So many more opportunities with this collection. I can't wait to share it with you. So if you join me during the premiere of our Take Two Tuesday classes, that's Tuesday, 5 p.m. sunny California time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are live chatting over there. Say hello, hello, and find the retailers that are close to you. Shop local, shop often, and if you don't have a local in-store mom and pop retailer, go find your most favorite online retailer, and hopefully they're carrying the Stacey Park brand of Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture creations for you. And if not, ask them to order it for you. You never know. I'm sure they would be happy to hear from you. So I am Stacey. I am a licensed designer for Sizzix, Jacquard, and Couture creation with another Take Two Tuesday done. I hope you had a great time, and thank you so much for spending it with me. I can't wait to see you again next Tuesday. All right, you guys. Bye, everybody.